Alright guys, this is the Amlevi Dardashlevi with Ibogaine clinic.com. Okay. And I'm shocked. I have here a person that took supposedly Ibogaine, ordered it online, and I want you to hear his story. Okay, it's very interesting. First of all, I want to show you what pure Ibogaine looks like. Okay, see, I want to tell you, I'm going to put my finger, you see, it gets stuck to my finger. It's so refined. And if I put it under my tongue when I get it, even though I get it directly from somebody that does it directly for me, if I don't feel the taste exactly, I don't use it. Okay, so it's not a joke. So for you to order online and think, oh, I'm getting Ibogaine because it says Ibogaine on it. Okay, tomorrow they're going to say on it a cow. So is it a cow? No. Anyway, I'm going to introduce you to this guy.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm the guy that
did the stupid thing.
Did the stupid.
That's okay.
I did. No, I did do a stupid thing. It was a very stupid thing.
And this is his girlfriend.
I'm Danielle.
And she works in psychiatric, right?
Yes.
Okay. I showed you what Ibogaine looks like. Now, I want you to say the story. Get a little bit closer so you can hear it. Go ahead.
What I got on the dark web, and it was slightly darker than that, not as refined, had a slightly similar taste, and I had a lot of similar...
What happened to you? You were on
Yeah, that's what I was going to
Suboxone.
go with. Yeah, okay, so I was on Suboxone for 8 months. I was told by another clinic I needed to be on the short-acting opiate.
Don't say on the clinic. I don't know what people call themselves clinic. I created IbogaineClinic.com 15 years ago. Okay. Now, I don't know if the clinic they know what they're doing. Everybody calls themselves. I called another treatment place or clinic, and they told me different. I don't know who the hell you are. That you just started. You don't know what even Ibogaine is. You have no idea. I've been doing research on this. I was a real estate developer. Left everything, come over here, make a research for 8-10 years on Ibogaine to find out how to treat, what to do, and you just get treated, and 3 days later, all of a sudden you open up you became a master of treatment in Ibogaine. Okay, this is shameful, really. If you know how to do it, do it. God bless you. I'd like to see hundreds of places in the world. But if you don't know, don't tell people things that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. What did they tell you?
They told me I needed to be off of the Subutex that I was on and on a short-acting opiate for a month. So I did that, and I got on fentanyl for a month, and it was horrible.
Okay, stop. Tell me real quick. Fentanyl, I want you to know, it's worse even than Suboxone to get off. Okay, here's a guy in the pool. Just show him. Here's a guy.
He knows.
Okay. He knows. Okay. So, fentanyl happens to be the most garbage of the opiate. Okay?
I agree with that.
They should take the fentanyl and throw it in the garbage. Instead of that, they're selling it to people as heroin. Okay? So, they're asking you to go to get short-acting
opiates
which
for
is
the month.
Absolutely you don't know how to treat. So
well, and
treat.
they recommended that he could speak to one of their doctors and get a prescription of Dilaudid. That's what they were saying. Yeah.
And Dilaudid happens to be, it's much worse than Suboxone. For your information, maybe you're going to learn something now. Okay? Dilaudid? Dilaudid is harder to treat than Suboxone. For God's sake, learn something maybe, okay? So they told you, their doctor going to put you on Dilaudid, okay?
Yeah, that's
which is
what
much
they told
worse
me.
than Suboxone. Suboxone, at least, has been tested. These drug companies that have, reputation to keep. So, okay, what happened? Because I'm sorry that I'm so shocked and
I'm
upset.
happy that you're passionate about
Okay,
it.
and this is unbelievable. So what happened?
So I got the 1.5 grams of what I was told was Ibogaine hydrochloride, which was a slightly darker color. Spilled some of it opening it, I was sent some of the total alkaloid extract to make up for that. Anyway, supposedly.
Yeah.
So I took what I was told was Ibogaine, and I had a similar experience to what I see in the testimonials for Ibogaine. However, afterwards, it lasted 80 hours where I couldn't move and drink.
Okay, stop. Our treatment, it's a person who gets treated within 8 hours, 10 hours maximum. Already is up. Okay, he can go even to the bathroom by himself. 3 days, you were bound to bed. I don't know what the hell you took. Poison. I don't know what you took.
Neither do I.
3 days?
It was more than, 3 days was when I decided that it had gone on long enough and that there was something that was very not right about his vital signs and the way that he was behaving. I had expected him to be much more lucid at that point, and that was about when I decided to take him to the hospital. It was about after 3 days,
Right.
3 full days, like
So
72 to 80 hours.
You say what happened.
So what happened was about 30 minutes after he took the flood dose of what he assumed, or we assumed was Ibogaine, he no longer had any withdrawal symptoms. He went into it with full opiate withdrawal, and the withdrawal symptoms subsided. He was feeling really great. He was describing feeling very beautiful, the buzzing in the ears, a lot of the typical Ibogaine things. And he seemed to be really enjoying it. His muscles went limp, like what we've read about. But then he just didn't seem to come out of it and seemed to keep going deeper and deeper. And he went from being able to be assisted out of bed to use the bathroom, to not being able to move, to not being able to talk at all, and then to not even being able to respond in any way whatsoever. And kind of laid in like a...
Stop for 1 second. This is absolutely not Ibogaine science, okay? The opposite. People get energy, they go through a little bit of, if they're on the heart, the legs hurt, the back, a little bit anxiety, but not to be able to talk, the taste, the eyesight, everything's supposed to improve. The opposite of what happened.
It did after.
Okay.
After he had gone to the hospital and was stabilized and okay, he started to have those things. He wasn't able to sleep. He had lots of cravings for fruit. He really was very, just very positive. His eyesight, he was needing glasses before, doesn't need glasses now. He was having lots of asthma, didn't need his inhaler at all.
Okay.
So some of those things started to happen after, I believe that he had a near-death experience as well, because of whether there was some impurities
I'm not
or
saying
too much or whatever.
There was Ibogaine there for sure. Mm-hmm. However, what there was mixed in it, I don't know. Because he said, he went to the hospital, it was like almost in coma for 3 days, right?
Yeah. They had to keep him in ICU on a ventilator.
That's absolutely, guys, I want to promise you as a rabbi, I'm a rabbi, I'm telling you, Ibogaine is safer, okay, than aspirin. Yes, if you take, instead of 2 aspirin if you have a headache, you take 80 aspirins, what's going to happen to you?
Probably gonna die.
Yeah. So, if you don't know what, you take crazy amount of stuff, anything you take, okay? That's number one. Number two, I don't know what was mixing. Now, he was in coma, and he said he had fever.
Yeah, he had a really, really high fever, and they actually kept him induced with sedatives because they weren't able to get his breathing, his heart rate, and his fever to come back to where they should be, so they didn't feel comfortable taking him out of the sedative.
That sounds like frog poisoning. Okay? I think 5H, whatever it is. I don't even remember the name, what it is. But they take it out of it, but it's a near-death, basically, experience. That's what you wanted to get?
No. I wanted to get clean.
Did you want to be 3 days in coma?
No. I didn't plan on that.
Did you know how much to take? Let's say it was pure Ibogaine.
I had an idea, a relative idea from what the research that I read. I don't know how accurate it was, but based on the multiple articles that I read, it seemed to be about 16 to 22 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. Also, depending on your
They have been
addiction.
using that protocol for probably 25 years, 10, 20 years. And it's absolutely incorrect. Okay? You can kill somebody because everybody is different. Okay? And I'm going to teach you something. If someone is diabetic, you give him that, you're going to kill him. Okay? I mean, everything has. There are people that are sensitive to aspirin. They cannot take penicillin, right? And there is something that you have to know what the person, that's why we have our doctors spend 2 hours with every patient, so I know what's going on with that person. Just I you cow, put you on the scale and multiply, but everybody can do that. Okay? And I understand how the Ibogaine clinics, you know, I learned, I got the formula. You just weigh you and multiply by 15 or 20, and that's it. It's very easy, you know.
You're smart, but you're not that smart.
Didn't work. Didn't work like that.
No, it's not that it didn't work. I'm so worried that you almost died, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, you're lucky you didn't die.
I know.
What fever? How the heck? Who gets from Ibogaine? Ibogaine basically rebuilds your immune system so strongly that you can even fight cancer. I'm telling you right now. I haven't finished the research yet. So I cannot tell you that I have the protocol yet, but I'm going soon to have protocol for cancer. Okay? Because it rebuilds so strongly. You get fever after you take Ibogaine? This is exactly the opposite of what Ibogaine is supposed to do. Okay? It seems like you had malaria, or I don't know what there was in it.
They said he was profoundly dehydrated too, because he had spent so many days at home with no liquids at all.
But how did you get the dehydration comes? Why do you get fever from dehydration?
Right? I don't know.
A body gets the body becomes fever, heat to kill germs. The body knows what I'm going to do. There's germs in there. Let's make him hot so the germs die.
Burn it out
That's
of
what
your
you
system.
get. There's
Right.
everything that happens to the body. There's a reason for it. Okay, that's what we research. But from dehydration, the body will do the opposite. Give you more fever, so you can dehydrate even more.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Means that there was something else in there, right? That gave you some kind of virus, disease. I don't know what the heck.
Yeah. I think that there was Ibogaine in there. I don't know how pure it was, and I think that you're right. There was definitely something else in there because you've treated so many people and you don't have any of those symptoms that I had ever
Nothing
in your
like
treatment.
this.
So
Nothing.
obviously there was something
and after
else.
8-10 hours the most, that's it. They get up and they're still a little bit dizzy, a little bit.
This is what I was
unstable.
expecting.
That's cool.
This is what I was expecting to watch.
3 days that little by little you couldn't talk. As the time goes, you get more up and more energetic and start getting rid of the symptoms and start, feeling great.
It was the lack of those positive things that really worried me, that concerned me, that it wasn't, instead of getting better like it should have, it progressively just got worse.